Wave it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Start the wave. No, it's like a little trinkle. A little trinkle. Come on.
We're gonna get that right.
Exactly. A little too close.
Maybe we're gonna like tsunami it.
We wave too much, it becomes like, an actionable offense.
Yeah, well, welcome back to MITA Unshackled, where we meet some of the movers and shakers and important thought leaders of the global cannabis industry. And I am pleased to have my friend Lou here today, but first let me reintroduce our co-hosts.
Ari Munoz. And Destiny Blanco.
I'm going to say Ariana Munoz.
Because I don't like when people call me Ariana.
Ariana.
It reminds me of a time period, and I dropped the Anna.
Okay.
It's like your government name, Ariana.
We'll get into that later. Lou, how you doing?
Happy to be here.
Glad to see you again.
Such good friends.
You enjoying MJ Unpacked?
I really am. It's a terrific event because it's intimate. You get a chance to interact with people. You get to see what's going on in the brands. You hear from some very smart people in the conferences, and a lot of one-on-one. So it's really spectacular.
And it's Magazzu Law?
Magazzu.
Magazzu.
Yeah.
This is Lou. Everybody just knows Lou.
Lou Magazzu.
Yeah,
But you got to Google and stuff. So tell us about your law firm and when you got involved in cannabis.
I have been an attorney for 40 years.
Very prominent attorney.
Thank you very much. I spent 15 of those years as a municipal attorney. Spent 15 of those years, different years as a county commissioner. And I also spent more than 20 years as a development attorney. So some of those years overlap. I've done about $4 billion of development work. I've done malls, assisted living facilities, cable TV, cellular telephone, hospitals, motorsports parks. If it had brick and mortar, I did it. In 2017, I came out to Vegas to kind of check out what was going on.
MJ BizCon?
Actually came out on my own with a delegation of about 10 people.
Okay.
And we...
Lou travels in delegations.
But I was...
Kind of tells you where he's at.
In any event. So it was a delegation of about 10 of us from Jersey, and we just checked everything out. They had the prearranged. It was fabulous. The Cannabis Association in Nevada set it all up. And I went back and I saw this is definitely the future. Had the opportunity, was very fortunate to represent Columbia Care in 2018 in Vineland, New Jersey, successfully getting a license. 2019, I had a client who folks know by the name of Livewell, John and Michael Lord. They were thinking going to Jersey, ultimately decided to go somewhere else to great success, but really got deeper into the industry to learn more about it. And then last year, I was able to get 3 licenses in New Jersey, 2 cultivation and 1 manufacturing for social equity. I'm very excited about the social equity piece because it's creating opportunities and literally changing lives. Now, what I'm trying to do is create a niche for those social equity folks to then, not the MSOs, but what I call proto-MSOs, folks who have been in the industry, have had some success, made some money, know what SOPs are like, know what the security issues are like, know what the banking issues are like, and merge them with the social equity people. Because if you throw the social equity people into this ocean of cannabis, it's going to be very difficult to succeed. Not to them, anybody starting fresh. But if you create a synergy, and there has to be a good relationship, but a synergy between folks who've done it already, but have done it so recently that they were like those other people just 5 or 10 years ago.
Right.
And you marry them with social equity folks. In Jersey, it's a license. It's an opportunity for success. New Jersey is the new promised land for cannabis the next 5 years, and
it's going to be massive. I mean, the market is perfect, set up there between all the other states. People can travel in, pick it up.
Well, and also I think
violate state law.
New York, we don't want any violations,
right.
But New York and Pennsylvania are behind New Jersey. New Jersey is taking the lead. It's got the right balance. They started out on the health side, on the medical side, and now have pivoted now to full adult use. But I think it's the next 5 to 7 years is going to see an explosion in New Jersey. And remember, New Jersey is the garden state. Right. It feeds much of the nation in terms of fruits, vegetables, plants. I believe the same type of cultivation is going to happen now for cannabis. Also, I-95 goes to the entire state, although we can't go through states now. I expect there will be legalization in the next 5 or 10 years. New Jersey will be, I think, in a fabulous position. And I'll put a pitch in for our governor, Governor Phil Murphy, a dear friend of mine, is visionary. He also comes from a Goldman Sachs background, but also is committed to social equity, and I think is going to create the exact ideal circumstance, ideal state for people to do business in cannabis.
That's interesting. You say Goldman Sachs always reminds me of all the guys who made money in this industry, but let's not focus on that. You are my go-to guy. I've been in this industry for 10 years, met a lot of people, different states, different countries, and you are definitely my go-to guy. The level of your connections, the depth of your understanding of New Jersey politics, New Jersey infrastructure, regulations, legislation, history, and cannabis is, it's a perfect storm for you to be helping so many people.
You're very kind. I want to be part of MITA USA.
Yeah, and you
will
I
think that's a next big step that makes sense. Be exciting.
I was about to say something else. Oh yeah, we'll get into applications in 1 second. But MITA USA, because you brought it up. I'll tell you, we're evolving it slowly. Interstate, you can't really have a trade association without a marketplace. So the interstate market structure will evolve in time, 1, 2, 3 years. MITA USA, we started evolving it last year, and it will slowly grow. And brands and cross-state migration are the big future. That's why we're here at MGM Pact, because everybody knows one day, hopefully faster and sooner, this industry will be driven by brands and what they're interested in, and they're interested in serving patients and consumers, which is what the industry should be focused on, not, and we don't need to get into this in great depth, I control this share of the supply chain, the market structure should be like this. That's just...
By the way, I apologize. I interrupted you when you were saying nice things about me, so you can keep on going and I'll just shut up.
No, but back to the application, Kane. So, New Jersey, perfect storm, everything's happening there right now. You have this area of expertise. You've helped people with applications, but you do a lot more than that. I mean, litigation, contracts.
One of the things I'm really committed and we're working on right now, we're not as far along as I'd like. One of the real tragedies here is that there are many people, mostly men of color, who have records for doing what is now legal in New Jersey.
Yep.
And although the state legislation created an expungement protocol that is really pretty simple, people are suspicious of that of anything that the state brings in. So I'm organizing attorneys, and as I say, we're going to do this in a pilot program first to represent folks for free for the expungement.
Oh wow, that's generous of you.
Because
nice.
I'm making money in the industry. It's a way to give back, but
absolutely.
also it makes a ton of sense because those legacy folks. Yes, New Jersey legislation gives you an opportunity to apply for a license with either two disorderlies, two misdemeanors, two disorderlies, or one felony related to cannabis. But that's going to be a fraction of the people. There are literally tens of thousands of people who are in jail, not in jail, they have records.
Records, yeah.
Okay? And my view is, if it's now legal for a white guy like me to use it.
Are you white?
I'm Sicilian, Italian, so that's, anyway, that's a whole other story.
I'm colorblind.
Exactly. So
Oh
then we should be able to literally expunge the records of anybody who are doing what's now legal.
Yep.
So I'm working, and what I've said to my colleagues who are cannabis attorneys making, frankly, a lot of money, this is the way to give back. They're the legacy folks. By next year, I will have a much better report for you because we're doing it as a pilot program, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, whatever we can do to help promote that and make that more accessible and the community aware of what you're doing on a volunteer basis to help with the expungement, with the history of what cannabis has done to a lot of members of the community, we would love to help promote. And I always say everyone in the cannabis industry should be suspicious of everything the government always does. I'm just, they should all be libertarians because 50, 60 years of cannabis policy with the media and the politicians, Democrats, Republicans, all poo-pooing.
And big pharma. Let's not forget big pharma.
Yeah, big marijuana.
But ultimately it was the laws that were created by the politicians. So they're the ones that need to be held responsible. The government needs to be held responsible. They created a system that didn't acknowledge the simple medicinal value of an herbal remedy. I'm an ex-prosecutor. When I first came into this industry, I was like, nice politically viable way for the hippies to get high. I had no idea.
I was a former prosecutor too. I started out. Yep.
Homeopathic remedies, alternative remedies, individual choice, healthcare choice. These are the big themes. Freedom is the big theme of the cannabis industry, and I think another big theme is be very suspect of the government. That's just me. That's just me. But back to what you do for companies and for cannabis entrepreneurs. I mean, investment relations. You help with investment, all kinds of stuff. We do.
Well, what I try to do, and a number of my clients are here, and some of them did a sizzle reel for me. They said some nice things. It's very important that the first thing you do is not take a check, but to dig deep to see whether they're viable applicants. Because what you don't want to do is take money from people who can't succeed, or in the alternative, file a license for people who are going to fail ultimately, because this is a very tough business. This is not a golden ticket because of 280E, which are tax issues, and frankly the difficulty of the business. This is not the golden ticket. Some people, it can create an opportunity. You know, I was in the cellular business, and this reminds me very much of that. I've also have a lot of food processing clients. Reminds me a lot of that. So what I do is I spend a couple of hours with my clients or prospective clients, almost talking them out of it, telling them all the challenges that are related, and say, do you really want to do this? Once they're then focused, then we really then talk about, there's literally a laundry list of 25 items I go through with them. And I say, these are the things we need to do. In New Jersey is a very pro-labor state, so it's important to have a labor peace agreement, both for construction as well as for the employees you're going to have. It's important to have an association with a college or a job training technical school. It's important to show that you have a security plan. It's important to show that you have standard operating procedures. It's important to show that you have a banking relationship. All these boxes have to be checked off. And when folks walk in the door, they think, you know, I'm going to hit the lottery. No, you're going to start a conviction. You're going to start a business,
right?
And it's a business that has enormous amount of challenges, and you have to have a team around you. I only take about 6 or 10 projects at a time because I have the rest of my law practice that's very active. But with those projects, I become almost like a concierge, a general counsel. People know I work 10, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. I take Sunday off, like the Bible says. But the other 6 days, I work.
You sounded very soprano there for a second.
Yeah, the Bible
What's
says.
that? Very.
What is it?
Like the Bible says.
Well, that's anyway, that's a whole other story. It's Jersey, man. It's Jersey. Exactly. And so we exactly. By the way, when next time you're in Jersey, we'll take that same drive that Tony Soprano, but we won't wind up at the landfill, so it'll be fine.
Lou, whatever I do in New Jersey the rest of my life, you will be my first call.
Yeah.
You're very kind. I appreciate our
hopefully
friendship.
I won't be in jail.
It is no. It is
Lou.
Our friendship is a recent friendship. Better call Lou. I love it.
Better call Lou.
Is a recent friendship. I will not be at the donut store, hopefully, though.
I know.
But I will say this to you: you're a recent friend, but you've become a good friend. I really respect the team that you put together. I respect the fact that you're digging deep into the industry, that you're asking the questions that other people don't ask, that you continue to be true to yourself, true to your morals and what's important, and you make the industry better. I kind of call you the conscience of the industry.
I appreciate
and
that.
I think that's a really important role to play, because it's very easy to get seduced into the money, into the, I don't want to say power, but into the success, and lose focus as to what do we hear. And by the way, we haven't even touched on it, and I'm not an expert on it, but I'm a big believer in the medicinal value and how that changes people's lives. I literally, when I was thinking about getting into this business, I wasn't sure, former prosecutor, 5 kids, and I had someone come up to me and say, my child has Tourette's. It was 75% abated because of cannabis. That's all I had to hear.
That's awesome.
That's what I had to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. This is a great venue. You have the best seat in the house here. I feel like I'm like with the team covering the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
That's the point.
MITA game day kind of concept.
Very nice.
It's our conference presence, but we're just doing these 15, 20-minute podcasts, MITA Unshackled, at this right now here. But we could go live for like 8 hours. But
this is great. I appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for working around my schedule. I could never say no to you for anything, my friend.
No, I appreciate that. And anyone who's looking at stuff on the East Coast, not just New Jersey, but and needs a guide to how things work in the whole state, in a lot of different
we can help them
themes.
in Pennsylvania, New York also, because I've developed relationships there of folks who are equally expert in those states.
They should definitely reach out to you first. I mean, you know, you guys. I know you'll send them if they're not a client for you, or you don't necessarily have the interest in working with their particular project. I know you'll send them to the right person as well. I just reached Seth from the Clear. I was recommending him over to you. You know, he's looking to bring his brand in. I mean, maybe you might do some legal work, but I know you'll connect him with cultivators or manufacturers or other individuals that you meet that you know that are doing business the right way.
You know, we've got to get you to Jersey at one of the conferences. Do this there. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, we're in. We're in.
Good.
How do people get a hold of you if they want to reach out?
The best way is to send an email to Lou, L-O-U, at capital L for Lewis, capital N for Neil, capital M for Magazzu, my initials, LNM Laws, plural, L-A-W-S. So it's Lou at LNM Laws, plural.com. And I respond to all emails.
And have we given you, I know we've been friends for a while, have I given you a High Point necklace yet?
You did, thank you. And I have it. I appreciate that. It is very important to me.
The High Point, they're one of our sponsors. And of course, we love these. Freedom dog tags represents the underlying spirit of the cannabis industry and remembers the legacy of Glenn Murray and all those other people who knew that freedom was one of the most important things. In its abstract notion and concept, it touches all of us in some ways, and we should always remember that. But Lou, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
Happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, and I think you should probably look into using the tagline "Better Call Lou."
Yeah, you heard it here, guys.
I think that's kind of cute.
Better call Lou.
It certainly is going to get you a lot of attention.
Or I might get sued by
Better Call Saul.
by Better Call Saul. Yeah.
That's all right. Well,
Forget about Saul.
Yeah.
We'll give him a joint or
Thank
something.
you.
Sunny.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
guys.
tune in
Thanks for the
next week.
invitation.
Meet
Great to be
Unshackled.
here.
Another episode, MITA Unshackled.